What's up people, welcome to today's video. Today we're going to talk about 3 key forms of exercise that you need to be doing in your pursuit to join the British Armed Forces. Let's get into the video. So guys, welcome to my new office. I hope you are all well. My name is Kyle. I used to be in the British Armed Forces and now I enjoy making videos for you guys so I can support you in your journey to getting into the Armed Forces. Now, what we're going to talk about today is going to be a very important topic and I'm going to explain it as best I can and give you some ideas so you can go away from this video and make the best possible choices and get as fit as you possibly can for your British Armed Forces selection. So it doesn't matter if you're going Royal Marines, Army, Navy, RAF, this video is going to suit every single one of you. So let's get into it. Oh God. Sorry guys, a little bit of a quick change of scenery. We've had to fly home and do the video from home. Hopefully you've got a little bit better quality anyway because the lighting here is a little bit better and the audio should sound real good because I've invested in a new mic so I can give you the best possible content and the best possible experience. So hopefully you can appreciate that. And if you do, give the video a like and possibly subscribe. I'm sure you'll find the content here very informative and it will help you with your journey into going into the British Armed Forces. So today's topic is the 3 forms of exercise that you should be doing to get yourself into the Armed Forces and pass your selection with ease really. So the first one is going to be, you probably already guessed it, it's running. I've spoken about running numerous times on this channel and how important it is to get into any role, Army, Navy or RAF. All of the entry requirements for these job roles require you to run in some way, shape or form. Now, if you are someone that's going Royal Marines, then running may not be your main focus. You might want to focus on something else that we're going to talk about in a minute. But for everyone else, running is going to be pretty much your bread and butter. You need to be able to do it at a decent level. If you're going something like paras, then you need to be running a significant amount throughout the week and making sure that you can run quickly over a long distance as well. So some of the sort of running activities that you should be doing, I've spoke about these in previous videos, is going to be a long run, a long steady run, getting used to running. If you are struggling to run over a mile already, then you can use the run-walk method. So run for a 2 minute, walk for a minute. Run for 2 minutes, walk for a minute, and do that over long periods of time and progressively get better at it. The idea behind running for long periods of time at a slow and low heart rate is going to help you build stamina, and it's just going to get you used to running for them long periods of time. It doesn't have to be hours on end, it just has to be 30 minutes plus, 40 minutes plus. If you go on something like paras, then probably an hour, traveling quite a little bit of distance, yeah? So you want to be probably doing in that time, probably about at least 6 miles, yeah, at least 6-7 miles in an hour if you are going paras and stuff like that. So your long run is going to be something that you're going to want to focus on. You've obviously got your tempo runs as well, which I've talked about in the past. This is your quicker runs, your short distance runs. So your 2 to 3 mile, 4 mile, if you're going something like paras or Marines, and you're going very quickly. You're going at a little bit slower pace than your 2 kilometer run pace that you would do. So it's quite a quick run. It's supposed to have you hanging out of your ass. We've also got things like interval sessions that we could be using, hill reps, things like that. These are all the different running activities that you should be doing on a weekly basis. Now, you don't have to do every single one of these on a weekly basis when you're running, but you should be mixing it up, pushing yourself and building your lactic acid threshold. This is basically your tolerance to be able to hang out your ass. That's what lactic acid threshold is, to put it in sort of layman's terms. When the lactic acid builds up so much in the muscles, your body can't clear it quick enough, and that's when you start absolutely hanging out and you can't run much longer. And then your breathing and stuff goes, everyone starts to panic, and before you know it, you're walking and that's it, it's the end of your running session. So start implementing some of these running techniques throughout the week. Definitely include a long run within your training regime throughout the week, and definitely include either a tempo run or an interval session. So interval session could be 10 rounds of 30 seconds sprinting, 30 seconds rest, and you could do that like I said, 10 rounds, and that would be a real good workout if you're sprinting max effort, yeah? And these things are going to help build your cardiovascular fitness massively and your leg strength, which is going to bring us nicely on to what I think is the second most important sort of training you should be doing. Now, this is going to be very specific to Royal Marines. Like I said, I think you might want to focus on this a little bit more if you were going Royal Marines than running, and it is going to be strength training. Now, there's a lot of different things you can do with strength training, guys, and I don't want to try and overcomplicate it for you by talking about splits and stuff like that, because you shouldn't really be thinking about that. You should be thinking about doing the basic movements, building a good amount of upper body strength, a good amount of core strength, and a good amount of leg strength, so that when the going gets tough and you are on these runs and things like that in the army, or you're carrying weight and stuff, your muscles have got that power and that strength to keep you going. All of these things that I'm talking about today, guys, can definitely need to be used in some way, shape or form in a training plan, but I'm putting them in priority order for you. So strength training, what I would advise doing with strength training is just focusing on compound lifts. If you have access to a gym, all you need to be focusing on is things like pull-ups, maybe some deadlifts, maybe some squatting, a little bit of bench press, focusing on them. You don't need to be going in there doing bicep curls and stuff like that and trying to get massive arms. You want to be focusing on things that are going to benefit you when you get into the military. A lot of the stuff that you do in the military requires functional fitness, so being able to move. There's no point trying to get as big as you possibly can. You want to be able to move, be athletic, have agility and all them sorts of things. So you want to be focused on your compound lifts, and you want to be focusing on doing athletic sort of movements, so walking lunges, things like that, maybe some box jumps and stuff like that, which is going to bring us finally on to the third and final most important type of fitness that you want to be putting into your training plan. So like I said, guys, at the start of this video, these three things all should be in your training regime, but I've put them in my opinion priority order. So I think running is first, strength training should be second, and then I think finally we should have high intensity interval training. Now, the good thing about high intensity interval training is you can implement running and strength training into it. So you could theoretically do a strength training, high intensity interval training session. So you could use weights and use different compound lifts to make a high intensity interval training, or you can mix and match both of them. Now, for people that don't know what high intensity interval training is, there's a couple of different ways you can do it. You can do things like Tabata, so 20 seconds work, 10 seconds rest. 8 rounds of that. That's a sort of Tabata style workout. You can do a circuit training session. For example, what this would be 20 press ups followed by 20 burpees, followed by 20 sit ups, followed by 20 squats, followed by 1 hill sprint, and that would be like a circuit training session. And then you've also got interval sessions like I spoke about in the running, which would be like 10 sprints for 30 seconds followed by 30 seconds running, and that would be a form of high intensity interval training. So you can see how they all sort of come together, but in my head and when I think back to sort of my time in the military, yes, being upper body strength and stuff like that was always important. However, running and having that basic cardio fitness was always probably the most important for the job that I did. But as the army starts to progress and the army starts to look at the science behind stuff and things like that, they are starting to implement strength training a lot more into the fitness sort of plans in the military. And you've seen that over the last couple of years with the change to the fitness assessments. Now you've got the combat ready fitness assessment, whatever it's called now, where you are doing leopard crawling and pulling like a sort of a deadlift sort of thing where you pull weight up between 2 boxes, and they're looking at these different sort of fitness assessments now to make a soldier more capable of doing things on the battlefield. So a few points to take away from this video, guys, is what you want to be doing. A perfect sort of training plan for someone that is going into the military, especially sort of army, would be at least 2 to 3 runs a week, one strength training session working on compound lifts and athletic movements, and then the other one, if you've got the energy to do it, do a high intensity interval session. Now, if you don't have room to do it or you don't have the energy to do it, then what you could do is switch your strength training round the week after and put a high intensity interval training, strength training session in there. So have a little think about it, guys. You don't always have to go out for a run in the pissing down rain and stuff like that. Do some stuff in your house, do a HIIT session, billions of them on YouTube. Do a homemade sort of strength session. If you've got no weights, then just use bodyweight exercises, pull-ups, dips, press-ups, rows, anything like that to sort of get that strength training going and start building a little bit of muscle. Now, guys, for the Royal Marines out there, obviously the strength training is going to be very, very important for you. You need to be able to do heaves to a very good standard. So you need to probably be able to do heaves 10 to the beep comfortably to have a good chance of getting past PRMC. You need to be able to do a considerable amount of press-ups, sit-ups, and still be able to run as well. So you need to be a sort of chameleon. You need to be able to do everything if you go into the Royal Marines. And likewise for paras, I wouldn't say that strength training is less important for paras. It's just not focused on as much as it is in the Royal Marines. Paras do things a little bit faster. We run quickly, and you want to be able to carry a lot of weight on your back and run at the speed of a fucking 1,000 gazelles over 10 miles. Whereas Royal Marines are a lot more reserved and they do things a different sort of way. So guys, I'm starting to ramble on a little bit now. I'm probably going to make a training plan. Again, I've made loads of different training plans. I'm thinking about maybe publishing this training plan into a downloadable sort of platform for you so that you guys can go away, download it instead of screenshotting off videos, and then you can sort of download it and you can use it. You can take it to the gym with you, you can take it out on a run with you, whatever you guys want to do. So if you do want me to do that, definitely drop it in the comment sections down below, and I'll get working on it straight away. I'll put it into a Google Doc or something like that, so you guys can go get it for free, of course. And I can make different types, so I can make for so your average Joe that's going into all different sorts of roles in the military, and then I'll make one for paras, I'll make one for Royal Marines as well, and then you guys can go away and you can use that. So let me know in the comment section if you do want me to do that, but if not, thank you very much for watching the video. As always, I appreciate it massively, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later, guys.